Hello, it's the 11th of June and I'm giving some thought to transplanting these leeks into their final resting place. This bed here, it has been a nursery bed where I planted the seeds a few weeks ago, and now most of the leeks have grown up to a height where 2 or 3 big leaves on them where they can be transplanted. I'll demonstrate how to do that in a little while, but I've also got other thoughts this year concerning allium leaf miner. I've talked in previous videos about transplanting leeks and about allium leaf miner and attempts to deal with it. Allium leaf miner, as in miner, M-I-N-E-R, is an insect that lays its eggs on the leaves of the leek, and when you open or when you dig a mature leek, you see these orange reddy sort of lines running through it where the grub has been burrowing, which can ruin the entire leek. Now, I've put below links to all the other videos I've done regarding leeks and latterly dealing with allium leaf miner. The primary way, I only started to notice it a couple of years ago, and sadly I haven't taken a photograph for you, but what I tried to do to start with was do what was suggested in the gardening books of covering it, putting insect mesh over, which I imagine probably deterred the allium leaf miner, but it seemed to produce a rather humid atmosphere and other insects and problems happened with the leek. So this year I've got another experimental plan, and I'm only growing a few leeks because this is a bit of an experiment, not just to have some nice leeks next year, but also to address the problem of allium leaf miner. Before I discuss my cunning plan regarding allium leaf miner, I'm first going to transplant all the leeks from the nursery bed into this small area here. It's really just an experiment this year, so I'm only doing 12. What I'm going to do now is make a hole with this dibber, which is about the size of a leek, into the ground here. The length of the dibber is about the length I want the leeks to go into the ground. And now I've made a hole in the ground, I'm going to go and get one of the leeks from the nursery bed. Okay, I'm going to transplant these leeks one at a time because I want the baby leeks to be out of the ground for the minimum possible period. So I'm just getting this one and all its roots out of the ground. And quickly transfer it to the hole I just dug. I'm now just going to pop it into that hole. And then I'm just going to not backfill it with earth, but just top the hole up with water to help the roots consolidate. Okay, what I'm going to do now is do all the others, and hope you want to join me again when I talk about the plan for allium leaf miner. Okay, well that's most of the leeks transferred from the nursery bed to their final location. I've left a couple in the nursery bed that could get bigger over the next couple of weeks. I mentioned earlier Allium leaf miner, which has been a problem to me for the last couple of years. The insect lays its eggs on the leaf, growing leek, and you get these trails produced by the bug that comes out of the eggs, which produce these long red brown lines in the leaves, which really can destroy the entire leek. A way of dealing with that, according to the internet, was to cover with insect netting, so that may work for you. For me it didn't work. I'm not entirely sure why. I get the impression that perhaps it kind of increased the humidity where the leeks were growing, and they didn't survive, or it didn't work out very well anyway. I just kind of think what they could do with would be, you know, the fresh air and the breeze blowing through them. I left 3 leeks that I couldn't fit into the netting cage last year. I left them out in the open and they grew into brilliant leeks, with the exception that they were blighted by Allium leaf miner. So I thought, well, how else can I try and deal with this? And it occurred to me that maybe I could use companion planting. I looked it up on the internet and there didn't seem to be very much about companion planting and leeks, so I asked AI, Google's Gemini AI program, and it suggested mint. So I thought, well, okay, well this year I'll grow a lesser number of leeks and I'll intersperse them with mint. So I looked up a site that sold mint on the internet. I just add at this point that if I mention, as I'm about to, a supplier, I don't get any money for that. I'm not sponsored, it's just that I've used them and I've been pleased with them. There's a company called Mad About Mint that allegedly stock 140 varieties of mint, and I got one of their collections, which are collections of mint that can be used for making tea. So if all else fails, at least we can have a variety of mint teas. And what I intend to do is to put those with the leeks and then see in the open, and then see if I have problems with Allium leaf miner. What I'm actually going to do, because you won't want to hunt through future videos to see whether it worked or not, so in the notes below I'm going to update the information about what's happened. So at the moment obviously we won't know any results, but as soon as I've got anything to say, I'll put the details in the notes below this video so you can see whether this was successful or not. So I've got 6 mints here. I've got Cubanito mint, Spanish mint, Moroccan mint, Thai mint, Yakima mint and Atlas Mountain mint. They came as very nice little plug plants from Mad About Mint. It listed with inside the box what the mints were, but it didn't associate the names with the particular mints. So as I can't tell my Thai mint from my Yakima mint, I don't know what varieties they are, but hopefully if it works they will all be equally confusing for the insect that lays the eggs that lead to Allium leaf miner. So what I'm going to do is position these mints. Oh, by the way, obviously they're in pots. I did that because I wouldn't want to plant several different mints in here anyway, but planting mints in open ground is perhaps not a good idea, because if they spread like ordinary mint does, they're very invasive, and really if one's planting mint under any circumstances, one wants to do it in a container that'll contain its growth. So what I've done, I planted the plugs in 6 pots. They're coming up to nice little plants now, and I'm going to intersperse them between my leeks. There's going to be a lot of mint here per leek, so if it does work, that will give it the best chance of working. I'm not sure what the optimum number of mint plants are, but let's see if it works first of all. The other thing, of course, is that if this does work, then the mints are going to be in pots ready to be moved to a different bed with leeks next year. I'm putting them into quite deep little reservoirs so the mint can stay moist. Mint doesn't tolerate drought all that well. They like moist, well drained soil, so if I keep them in fairly deep troughs in these quite deep pots, hopefully that will keep them adequately watered even if I'm away for a bit and we have a hot, dry summer. Well, as ever, I hope you found something useful or interesting in this video, and thank you very much for watching.